Same insurer, small disability footprint. Chubb's motto is protecting the present and building a better future. They're one of the largest property and casualty insurers in the world. I actually have my homeowner's insurance and my automobile insurance and my excess coverage through Chubb, and they have been fantastic. I couldn't ask for a better carrier. However, disability coverage is just a small fraction of their business. And what they do offer is this. They offer group disability policies to employers, which are ERISA governed. They do offer individual disability policies to professionals such as doctors, dentists, chiropractors, and that's going to be state law governed. Now, you might ask, well, why is IDI coverage better with Chubb? And Chubb is one of the companies that I do tend to recommend together with Northwestern Mutual. And if you can afford it, you want to choose your own occupation or subspecialty own occupation policy. This ensures that you can get paid if you can't do the specific duties of your current occupation, even if you can work in another occupation. So, for example, a surgeon who can't operate but can teach in medical school could still collect their full benefits. One of the things that I always tell people when they're looking at individual disability policies is, look, you potentially want to have a residual disability provision payment, which will allow you to work. But if you work in your own occupation at reduced hours or productivity, you're protected in terms of financial loss. And of course, you still have the total disability claim. However, I want you to understand that they also have an outsourcing issue. Because disability is such a small part of their business, they outsource the claims handling to companies like Lincoln National or other plan administrators. And the problem can be a lack of direct oversight, delayed responses, and inconsistent communication, denials driven by that third-party cost control motives. I think that outsourcing creates confusion for policyholders. You may think you're dealing directly with Chubb, who I love to deal with, but the actual decision makers are at a different company with different priorities. And I think that that's a disconnect that leads me to recommend, other individual disability carriers once the prospect person understands that while Chubb is, good for property and casualty, it may not be so good for disability claims. What are their tactics to look out for? Well, it's requesting repeated attending physician statement forms to update your status, and then using them to find inconsistencies, ordering unnecessary IMEs by doctors they select and pay, conducting surveillance to capture a few minutes of physical activity and misrepresent it as proof that you can work full time. Now, what you should do if Chubb denies your claim is this. If you have an IDI claim, remember you can sue in state court for your benefits, for extra contractual damages, punitive damages, potentially bad faith damages, depending on where you live, costs and attorney's fees. While an appeal isn't required, I am still an advocate of appeals because I want to provide detailed medical documentation, vocational documentation, and factual rebuttal, because it can lead to reinstatement of the benefits without having to file suit. If you're in a situation where Chubb is the insurer for your employer, it is most likely going to be covered under ERISA unless you work for a church-related employer or work for a municipality or a state organization, so a governmental organization. You're going to only have 180 days to appeal, and that appeal is the trial of your case. In that particular situation, you need to get a lawyer as quickly as possible because that appeal is the trial of your case. And if you blow it and save your evidence for the better day, there is no better day because that evidence won't come in. What happens if Chubb accepts the claim? Acceptance isn't the end of the claim. They're going to continually to review your case, monitor social media, may even conduct surveillance. They may also have you undergo not so independent medical evaluations. And I think having an attorney review the attending physician statement forms, your activity of daily living forms, and correspondence can help prevent surprise terminations and ensure that your reporting is not only consistent, but current. Got it? Let's take a break.
Are you a professional with questions about your individual disability policy? You need the Disability Insurance Claim Survival Guide for Professionals. This book gives you a comprehensive understanding of your disability policy, with tips and to-dos that will assist you in submitting a winning disability application. This is one you don't want to miss. For the next 24 hours, we're giving away free copies of the Disability Insurance Claim Survival Guide for Professionals. Order yours today at disabilityclaimsforprofessionals.com.